if you don't like conspiracy theories, keep scrolling. Okay, now that it's just us and the naysayers are gone, I've got one I want to talk about. A while back, my podcast did a story on this girl. This is KARLIE GUSE, and I will do a full TikTok on her because she's still missing. It's still important to talk about. But while we were searching for that case, we did a deep dive down a rabbit hole that I never expected. Have you ever heard of Kate Yup? If you're not familiar with Kate Yup, she is a YouTuber who does mukbangs, and this is kind of a quick clip of her. She has huge amounts of food that she consumes in one setting. And I mean, she's like scarfing and slurping and just eating massive amounts of food. And a part of the mystery about Kate Yup is she is always seen with like a nose up covering, so you can't see her face. And people started wondering, is this KARLIE GUSE? Okay, so you get the picture. So people subscribe. She's got almost 1 million followers that watch her do this mukbang. And she gets really popular. And then people start seeing some interesting things. They notice a busted lip, bruises on the arm, and it's in multiple different videos. And so they start saying like, hey, are you okay? They also notice that she's skinny, which doesn't mean anything necessarily. She might just have a faster metabolism. But then people are like, what if this girl's held captive and forced to make these videos? What if it's KARLIE GUSE? So I want to start this part 3 by saying I do not believe Kate Yup is KARLIE GUSE, and I do think it's important to show KARLIE's missing flyer because she's still missing, and I don't have a full TikTok up on her yet. So here it is. It's been a while since I did my research on KARLIE GUSE's case, but if I remember right, her mother did say that they have ruled out that Kate Yup is not KARLIE. If you want to hear more about the differences between the two and why it is not KARLIE, I think there is plenty of YouTube videos out there. But if she's not KARLIE, who is Kate Yup? So people go crazy trying to figure out who this woman is. And they start listening to her videos turned up really loud with headphones on. And they get something that they think that they hear. They hear a man telling her to eat faster. To which point, Kate begins eating quick again. There's also another point where the table jerks and Kate begins quickly eating again. So people wonder, is she being held captive and forced to make these videos? Which some of y'all might be wondering, why would anybody force anybody to eat food and hold them captive to do so? But clearly with 1 million followers and a bajillion views, they're making money off of YouTube. Not only that, but they're on Facebook too. Again, people are commenting, are you okay? You know, give us a hint. Are you okay? Like, what's going on? And she does something kind of interesting. In some of the videos, she begins tapping on the side of the bowl, which just seems like she's getting the excess juice of whatever she's dipping it in. But people say that it's Morse code for help, SOS. People also hear in some of the videos while she's slurping and eating, help me. Also, in some of her videos, after people were asking, are you okay? She started writing little captions at the bottom, but she never speaks a word. And in these captions, there's capital letters randomly throughout that spell different messages. Now, with these little hidden messages in the text in her videos, I'm not sure if she's just doing it to troll people, to get people to come to the video to look at it again, or if she's really crying for help. But it's really interesting. This is the last video that was posted by Kate Yup 1 year ago. And you read that right. She loses her tooth in the video. And she just keeps on eating. She spits the teeth out. She shows them to everybody. Look, I lost my teeth, and let's just keep on eating. Which this drove people mad. People were like, oh my God, your teeth, are you okay? Why would you keep eating? And she has not posted since. One thing that I do find interesting is she does have a Facebook page, but when I was browsing it not long ago, all of the videos that are on there are no longer this girl. They're random people eating. So what happened to Kate Yup? And this is going to be the finale. So Kate Yup has never been identified. She's not posted in a year, and a lot of people wonder if maybe she is just a girl who has an eating disorder that records her binges. I suggest, if you want to go down this deep dive, to go look on YouTube, because there's a lot of different videos that detail all of the different things that are suspicious about Kate's videos. We also have a full episode on our podcast that I think we go in a little bit more detail and about other possibilities of a couple other people who it could be. Ultimately, I hope that whoever Kate Yup is, that she is okay, she's healthy, she's happy, she's fine, and that she has overcame whatever this is. I also hope that she still has her teeth and this was just for the video's purpose. Let me know if you guys want to see more conspiracy theories on this page. Thanks for watching!
Since we touched base on the Kate Yup conspiracy yesterday, I wanted to go ahead and talk about KARLIE GUSE because it's brought up a lot of things, and we also covered KARLIE on our podcast. There is so much speculation on what may have happened to KARLIE, but I want to go ahead and stick to the facts the best I can, just because these accusations are extremely deep, and I want to try and remain respectful to KARLIE's family. KARLIE was last seen heading towards Highway 6 on the early morning of October 13th, 2018 in Chalfont, California. I may have not said that right, but don't come for my head. One of the things that plays a huge part in KARLIE's disappearance is the events that unfolded the night before KARLIE went missing. On the night of October 12th, KARLIE asked her father and her stepmother, Melissa, if she can attend a football game with some friends at her high school. But later on that evening, KARLIE ends up at a party of a local classmate. And that's when things get really weird. KARLIE GUSE Part 2. While KARLIE was at this party with her boyfriend and her friends, KARLIE ends up smoking marijuana, which, whatever, it's marijuana, sometimes it's what teenagers do. But KARLIE starts acting extremely weird, according to her boyfriend, like really panicked and paranoid and acting like somebody is after her, which is not always a normal reaction for marijuana. But law enforcement has stated they do believe that the marijuana that KARLIE smoked was laced with something. A little bit after KARLIE starts acting completely erratic, she calls her stepmother Melissa, and then she's freaking out on the phone. She says, "You have to come get me. This is where I'm at. Pick me up right now." Melissa gets in her car, she heads to the party, and she's on her way to pick up KARLIE. As Melissa is driving down this main highway, she kind of sees like a glow of a cell phone, and what she sees is KARLIE running down the street full speed. She sees Melissa and she jumps in the back of her car and says, "Go now, they are after me." KARLIE GUSE Part 3. Once KARLIE gets into Melissa's car, Melissa has stated that her behavior just became more and more erratic and more paranoid. Melissa stated that she took KARLIE right home to where her father was, and KARLIE started becoming really combative and trying to fight them, and she's scared and she's paranoid, and these two aren't really sure what to do. So for some reason they just start videotaping KARLIE's behavior. But this recording has never been released to the public. It has only been handed over to law enforcement, so whatever is on that recording, I do not know. Melissa stated that KARLIE's erratic behavior just kept on for hours and hours throughout the night, until she finally got KARLIE calmed down, and her and KARLIE decided to go lay down in KARLIE's room together. And this is where things get really weird. Around 6 a.m. on October 13th, KARLIE's stepmother Melissa woke up and KARLIE was no longer in her room. Melissa went downstairs to look for her, and the front door was open and KARLIE was gone. KARLIE GUSE Part 4. KARLIE's stepmother Melissa stated that once she saw the front door was open and she had spent time looking for KARLIE, she gets her dad and they finally decide to go ahead and file a missing persons report. Word got out pretty quickly that KARLIE was missing, and they were asking the public if anybody had seen anybody matching her description, please call law enforcement right away. And people called. Someone said around 6 a.m. that they had actually seen KARLIE walking in a white t-shirt and gray sweatpants off of this Highway 6 up here listed on her missing persons flyer. And Highway 6 is actually a super busy highway, and it runs all the way across the northern part of the country. Since that tip came in, there has been other supposed sightings of KARLIE, but nothing has ever panned out. How I came across the Kate Yup conspiracy was when I was trying to research KARLIE's disappearance, and I went down a rabbit hole, and that is when they mentioned KARLIE could be Kate. KARLIE GUSE Part 5. Okay, Kate Yup is not KARLIE. And since we started talking about Karlie, weird things have been said to us, and I just want to point this out really quickly. This bitch right here with the black hair, this is my co-host on this podcast. She helps me run this page. We work together every single day with our faces in the public. She is not Karlie. I cannot tell you how many text messages I woke up to this morning from our friends asking why the hell our followers on TikTok are even saying that Holly is possibly Karlie. I know we are bored and doing really weird things and saying weird things because of COVID and quarantine. I understand it. I just try to convince our listeners that Katy Perry is JonBenet Ramsey. But the fact that people even think for a second that Karlie is Holly is absolutely ridiculous. Just stop.
I've discovered something really scary and I need your help. One of the most important factors in missing people's cases is getting as many people as possible to see the missing person's photo. Knowing this, I regularly check NCMEC and I encourage you to as well, because it only takes one tip to save a life. A couple of weeks ago, something caught my eye and I shifted looking from the pictures and the names to the states and the counties. And if you take a look, as you can see here, there are so many missing children from Virginia. Take a look at the cases that have been reported since November 1st, 2020, and are still active and open today, January 30th, 2021. As you can see here, there have been 185 children reported missing in the state of Virginia since November 1st. That is more than New York and California combined, with New York at 58 and California at 78. The Virginia State Police Department has made no public statement, and after numerous calls, I've turned to TikTok. Let's show them that these kids matter.
Nicholas Roberts was a missing boy, and everyone in the town knew him as the boy buried in the bushes. You see, search party after search party could locate the missing boy, Nicholas Roberts. But one little girl did find a boy who would talk to her in the bushes where she played. You see, she told everybody the boy said his name was Nicholas Roberts, and he just wanted to go home. But it wasn't just her that saw Nicholas Roberts in the bushes and throughout the woods. He was seen by many people, including the police. He would cry out to them and tell them the same thing, and then just disappear. The local police over the years dug up that much of that local bushland, but they never found him. Even to this day, the locals believe the young boy's body's in the woods somewhere, because he still talks to them and they still see him. They say in all the photos that are taken of him, he's screaming as he hates all the tourists taking photos of him. But he still cries, "Please help me, I just want to go home."
In the back of a car between two guys was a girl who had two black eyes. Severe, okay? Somebody uploaded this video saying this girl looks like she needs help on TikTok, and it's been getting a lot of attention. So I did my research. People in the comments stated that it looked like a missing person's CASSIE Compton at the time when she was abducted, age 15, and she was last seen on September 14th, 2014. Blow this video up. Watch it to the very end, please. This is CASSIE Compton. She was last seen 9/14/2014. Went on Procreate and I downloaded the picture of the missing person's photo and I colored her hair black, I colored her eyes black, and then I did a side-by-side comparison. Here's the missing person's photo, and here was the picture of the photo sitting in the backseat between those two men. And then here is the photo I did versus the same photo. This is CASSIE Compton.
So I'm sure many of y'all have seen the picture of Alex that we've been sharing right here. It is with sorrow that I need to announce that the search is off. He has been found and he is deceased. I appreciate the people of TikTok for keeping their eyes out, for sharing the messages, and doing everything you can. But the search is over. Thank you guys.